So I'm going to read a story since I'm a teacher. I love to read stories, so you're going to listen to a story. That is my story. So here we go. My story started out when I was younger. I grew up in the church. So my mom took us every Sunday, whether we wanted to or not. And we would go to Sunday school and learn about Jesus. I committed my life to Christ when I was a young age. I was 6 years old at the time. I know it was a very young age, but I knew I wanted to know more about who Jesus was or who God was. And so I remember at Vacation Bible School praying with someone, recommitting my life to, Christ, or just, asking God to forgive my sins. And so from then on, I started going to church more. What really shaped my relationship with Christ was the Missionettes program at the Assemblies of God church that I went to. So I went through the Daisy program, the Friends, all the way up to, I think the farthest one was Friends. And also at Lake Geneva Camp, I would, every summer I would recommit my life to Christ, asking, God for forgiveness. So I even remember, witnessing to some of my friends on the bus in middle school with my little Gideon Bible, But yeah, my mom practically raised us all on her own. I did have a dad, but he was never present. He was a long-distance truck driver, so he would be gone for weeks at a time. So I hardly knew my father growing up, and it was something that we all desperately needed. My sisters, my brother, we needed a father in our life. And whenever he was home, it was like a stranger coming to our home. We were very afraid of him because, he would come out and speak to us with anger, so we were very scared. But we all, needed a father. It was like a missing puzzle piece, a piece I think we all need to have healthy relationships in our lives. But I was missing that. And so that sort of shaped my life a little bit. Things kind of took another turn when my uncle passed away. I was probably very young. I didn't understand why people had to die. But I guess before my uncle died, he had a talk with my dad, asking my dad to take care of his girlfriend. But my dad took that literally. And so it was months later when my mom received a text message from my dad saying that the marriage was over. And I just remember, coming home with my mom still crying in her room, and I had no idea what was going on. It was later that night when she told us the news, like what had happened, and I just remember, being in a state of shock. I remember crawling in a ball, just so hurt by it. I didn't understand why my dad had to do that. So it was months later when my mom and dad got a divorce, and I just was kind of in that depression phase. Like I just couldn't shake myself out of it. I was kind of upset with God. I didn't understand why it had to happen. So I struggled with depression, in middle school. Like, I was contemplating, death, taking things to the extreme, and I knew it was becoming evident how much when I started to make plans to end my life. And I thought the way to go would be taking pills. And it was scary when I started taking my plan into action. And I knew I needed help, so I confronted my mom about it and how I was feeling. So later I was, treated for clinical depression. And during all of this, I felt distant from God. I realized I was upset with him, and I wanted a father desperately, and I wanted things to be better, and I wanted to be happier, and I wanted to belong at school and be pretty or popular. But after going to therapy, things seemed to level out a little bit. I was feeling okay. I started talking to God again, and I remember recommitting my life to him. I worked hard in school, and I desperately tried everything. I would go to do the plays, musicals, I would run cross country, I would do band, choir, track. I was determined to be something, but I didn't want to be another statistic of those girls whose father had left them and ended up doing drugs and alcohol or getting pregnant. So I wanted to prove to myself and to my dad that I was fine without him, but the truth is I really needed him. I wanted to be an archaeologist, and I remember taking classes for it in high school and getting college credit. And it was that time to pick a school, and I was confused and lost on where to go, so I thought archaeology was what I was supposed to do. I remember asking God what it was that He was calling me to do. So I had flashbacks, of all the kids that I worked with during past mission trips, and I knew it was either something with kids that I was supposed to do, and I had a college visit at North Central University, and I knew that was the place I was supposed to go, and I was supposed to be a teacher. I got accepted right away and started in the fall, so I immediately felt like I belonged, and I loved every minute of it. I was experiencing joy for the first time in a long time, and every year my relationship started to grow. I loved the community aspect of the college and met a lot of new friends because, I felt like I could be myself. I was involved with leadership, growing every year, just with my relationship with him, and I was helping and discipling girls that were struggling with depression as well. But after college, I sort of I was kind of in the deep end a little bit. I was helping a friend who had depression, and I was kind of forgetting all about who I was or like my needs, and I was putting her needs before my needs. And so I kind of was just forgetting my relationship with God. I was kind of taking on her burdens, and I was acting like her. She was upset with God, and so then I was like, well, I'm upset with God too. So I was becoming kind of a different person. My sister and my mom kind of confronted me about it, and I didn't see it at the time because I was blind. I was blinded by this because I thought, God was calling me to help her. So I was kind of just taking on that role of just helping her out. And I forgot who I was, and what God had called me to do. So it was at a dark time in my life where, the friendship ended, and I was at a dark time. I was lost. I had no idea what to do. It's a scary moment when you're like, after graduation, you don't know what to do or where to go. I remember coming here to Corner, and on the back of these little cards was a prayer request. And I remember writing on the prayer request, asking God to bring me back on the right track. And I didn't understand how He would do it, but I just trusted in Him that He would bring me back. So it was, months later when I was starting to take true healing. I was going to Celebrate Recovery. I was going to therapy. I was being treated for depression again. I've been struggling with it in and out every year. Once I started going to Corner, I became determined to become a part of the community. I wanted to make friends, live my life that the Lord, has called me to do. So after being here at Corner for 2 years, my relationship has truly grown. We have small connection groups that I go to every Wednesday night. And when I don't go, I feel like there's something missing in my life, or, I don't feel like the same during the week. So I now cherish my life. I thank God every day for what He has done in my life. Even though it's been, challenges after challenges, He's really shaped me into become the person I am today. And I thank Him for bringing me back to, on the right track. And thank Him for His mercy. And, I know I will still face many trials, but no matter what, it will still be well, with my soul because of Him. So that's my little story.